Donald Trump has been on a storm talking about the FDA and vaccines, tweeting over the weekend, the deep state or whoever over at the FDA is making it very difficult for drug companies to get people in order to test the vaccines and therapeutics. Obviously, they are hoping to delay the answer until after November 3rd. Must focus on speed. Oh, I bet you do, buddy. And saving lives. Okay, so the FDA is the deep state, and they don't want a vaccine because a vaccine would help Trump. So they are willingly pushing it off so that more people die to hurt Trump. That's what he's saying. It's not just him. According to two sources in a Monday meeting this last week, Donald Trump's trade advisor, why is the trade advisor in this story? I don't know, but that's the White House. Peter Navarro aggressively confronted FDA officials saying, you are all deep state and you need to get on Trump time. That's the expression Navarro uses to describe the speed that he says Trump demands. Not that Trump does anything, he's a lazy sack, but that's what he wants people to do. Yeah, so the trade advisor is also calling the FDA deep state. So they're all deep state. And they're trying to stop you from getting a vaccine. Thoughts?
Like, God, this one hurts. But like, imagine you've worked for the FDA, even for just a few years, and someone just points a finger at you. You're deep state. Get on Trump time. Yeah, like, can you just? Like you can't, you want to, this is the whole, the age old question, right? Do you stay and try to do good, or do you leave and or get fired because you're not able to do your actual job? Can I just say, when it comes to the vaccine, Trump, if there is a vaccine, which of course, John, you're absolutely right. It makes no sense. Like the entire argument the FDA is like withholding a vaccine is utterly ridiculous. But even if there was, do you think he would throw his anti-vax base under the bus in order to tell people to go out and get this vaccine? No. As soon as if there's a vaccine, Trump will be like, if you want it, do it. I hear it does things, it does weird things. We can't talk about the things. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, no, look, we already have a flu vaccine. People are being told to get their flu shots this season so that they don't compound it with COVID. And there's a lot of folks who are like, nah, I'm good. For whatever reason, I'm good. And again, the anti-vax thing is insidious. It keeps going and going and going. And Trump absolutely would play into that. So it's so bonkers that he would ever promote a vaccine. Unless he could actually buy it and put his name on it, and he personally would make money from it, which we maybe is the case with hydroxychloroquine. He wouldn't be pro-vax.
Yeah, I think that in the end, once it's available and it's out there, I agree. He will start to mimic that stuff. And Fox News already has. Jeanine Pirro said she won't under any circumstances take it. You can't trust the vaccines and all of that. But here is like the weird thing. It's that a lot of the vax people who aren't necessarily all right wing, there are lefties who are anti-vax and all that. That is being absorbed by Q, like all conspiracy theories are. The lizard people, the Illuminati, flat Earth, all of it is getting into the Q thing. So they don't like vaccines, but they like everything that Trump says and believes that he's right. So they think he's right to say that the FDA is the deep state because the FDA is abiding by safety regulations, and they think that the FDA shouldn't abide by those safety regulations, even though they believe that vaccines aren't safe. They think the FDA should expedite it, making it less safe, and they probably won't take it, but they think that it's awful that it's being blocked,
right? Because
it should be out there so Trump can get reelected, but they'd never take it because that's how the machines get inside you. None of it makes any sense. And again, that's the worldview. You can believe anything you want, no matter how internally contradictory it is. Just believe what makes you feel good. And by the way, the vaccine that they're blocking from being developed is to cure a disease that they don't believe exists. And if it does exist, it's not really dangerous and it's not killing anyone, but how dare they block the vaccine for it even though it's not real? None of this makes any sense. I'm not making any sense, but that is really what they believe. They don't think the disease is real. Okay. Now here's where it gets even darker. So Donald Trump tweeting about how the FDA is deep state and all of that. This is not just random. Okay, there is a reason that he is putting pressure on them, and we should be worried about it because there are reasons to believe that he is going to push for this vaccine no matter the cost before the election. President Donald Trump is considering bypassing the standard testing procedures according to the Financial Times because he wants it before the election. He's apparently considering pressuring the US FDA to issue an emergency use authorization for a British vaccine in October. So he's gonna wait until right before the election, supposedly, and then say that we're gonna be using it here in America. The company developing it, AstraZeneca, said it hasn't discussed such an order with the Trump administration, which might be true, might not. We'll see. The British vaccine appeared relatively safe, to its credit, in a study of 1,000 patients reported in the Lancet late last month, though with several side effects. But here's a significant caveat. It's still not known if the vaccine prevents COVID or even lessens symptoms. So it turns out it doesn't appear to kill you, although it provides some side effects. We just have no idea if it does anything. So why not rush it to market? And it could be months before they do the larger trials on a larger population of people to see if it actually will prevent that. But we can't wait for that because it's got to be rushed out 2 weeks before the election to provide a boost to Donald Trump. That seems to be the plan.
Look, they will sell beet supplements that what's the former NRA chick who's currently hawking? Dana Loesch, I don't know. Whatever her name is and however I'm supposed to, like, she's hawking them. You got Alex Jones on the supplements. Milo, my favorite moment of last year, I think it was Milo taking those supplements on Alex Jones' show. So good.
I like beets, I could get behind that.
I like beets, but roasted. Like if you could just make the vaccine in roasted beets, would love it. Little goat cheese, little arugula.
That's how it gets to the lizard center of the brain faster.
Oh, right.
But anyway, yeah, no, they're like, as soon as I read this, I was thinking, well, yeah, no, of course. What, because what is he not going to rush a vaccine out right before the election, like in the week or two before the election? Why? Because it's unethical? Because it's dangerous? Because it's dishonest? What does that have to do with literally anything in American politics? He's 100% gonna do that. He's 1,000%. I understand that's not how percents work. He's totally gonna do that. And I just hope that Joe Biden and his campaign are planning for that. Because there's no way now that that's not going to be the October surprise. Maybe we invade Iran too, I'm not sure about that. But definitely they're announcing a vaccine. Whether it ends up coming or not, he could announce a week before the election that we're giving emergency use authorization to that AstraZeneca thing. AstraZeneca could come out the next day and say they've literally never talked to us about this and it's not ready to go. So what does that have to do with anything? What, because people will realize that he was being dishonest? No, it'll swing 1 million votes in a few swing states and he'll win. I'm terrified of this now. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it or underthinking it, I don't know. But I think he is totally gonna do this. And America, above all, just wants to go back to the froyo place. And so this will be a very powerful, albeit 100% dishonest message in the closing days of the election.
I'm worried he's gonna give people like held out into the last minute, and then Congress and the Senate is just gonna pass, enhanced unemployment benefits again, even more relief, paycheck protection, et cetera, right before the election. That to me is what I'm more worried about, but it's true that sort of like his base potentially is more interested in miracle cures than anything else. A lot of things, look, the October surprise, who knows? Who knows?
I don't know. It's exciting. I can't wait to find out. Yeah, no, they should pass the enhanced unemployment right now. Would it help Trump? Probably. Good. It would also help the people who are out of work.
Yes.
Pass it right now. I wish that they would. Doesn't seem like that's much of a priority. I mean, obviously the Democrats took the last week off, and now the RNC is taking the week off for the reality show. Nothing looks like it's going to happen anytime soon. For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.